コットンキャンディーサイヤナイト。
Whoops, I messed up. I was supposed to let the video play. Hold on 1 second. Let's try that again. Also, I don't know why the capture didn't work. It was just working not too long ago. Ooh, let me try again. How are y'all doing?
コットンキャンディーサイヤナイト。私たちはバグ整合性を失いバランスを崩す突然一瞬溶け込まない白い肌と髪に輝きを失った赤い目が睨む仮面をつけた教団の信者が腕を出して立ちはだかるレイザー界
Alrighty, everybody. Hold on. What is going on here? Welcome to another show hosted by yours truly, the greatest ringmaster. I feel like this is too loud. Hold on. Welcome to another show hosted by yours truly, the greatest ringmaster ever graced the square screen. Your host for this evening, Azrael Kuridushi, the king of clowns, the jester of justice, Mr. Azrael Zagets, and today we're going to be playing Quantum Suicide. Another game that is similar to Zero Escape and Danganronpa. However similar that may be is, well, honestly, beyond me. Hold on 1 second. I don't know why it's doing this. Ah, well. Let's get started. Man, I hope you guys are having a much better week than I've been having so far. Things around me keep breaking. My scooter's charger, my chair. Busy at work. Not playing enough games, not able to watch anime. Ugh, damn. God. I might need a new chair, which is just gravy. A lot of money that I do not have. A lot just going on. A game that chooses an English voice? The game's timeline. Oh boy.
How's our little ray of sunshine doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing alright. You know, just trying to survive.
Still unconscious.
Oh.
Their vitals are stable. With any luck, our patients will wake up today.
Does this mean that I won't get to lovingly sponge bathe them anymore? I've enjoyed it so much.
Beatrix, what you do on your own time is none of my concern.
Why does it sound like they just picked up some random voice actors up the street?
Nicholas, look! Terror.
Water, Beatrix. Water. I'll go fetch some while you perform the basic cognitive tests.
Cleared my throat a few times, and an unfamiliar voice emanated from my parched throat in a hoarse croak.
It's about time you woke up. Good morning. Let me be the first
Yeah,
to
we're in
welcome you once
space!
ever.
Also, welcome, Rie. Welcome, welcome, welcome!
My name is Beatrix Vogel. I'm one of the medical officers here.
I like her voice doesn't match her face. I need to be careful. I can't lean back in the chair anymore. I'm sorry, but what's going on? Wait, the Everett. This is the Everett? The last thing I remember, I was in the escape pod and I paused. I didn't remember much of anything. Only brief snatches of conversation and the odd glimpses of mathematical equations, but none of it made sense.
Whoa, slow down, sailor. The captain will debrief you once we've given you a clean bill of health. But until then, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, you should have seen the opening. The opening was fire as hell. You have blonde hair. Picture Beatrix's golden hair, which poured over her shoulders in gentle curls.
I know. Glorious, isn't it?
I've never seen blonde hair before. Can I touch it? That's so weird. Not as weird as what's going on with my screen. What is...
I guess I've still got it. Why don't we go ahead and find out how you're doing before you try to ravish me, though? Alright?
See, I don't know. She's not really my type. I nodded at her weakly, head woozy from the movement.
Perfect. So, first question. How many fingers am I holding up? Well, someone doesn't have a sense of humor. Perhaps it was damaged by your concussion.
Visual novel openings never miss. You're absolutely right, actually.
Not good with comebacks either, I see. Moving on. Okay, next question. Are you a man or a woman?
I think that's pretty obvious.
It's to test your basic recall. Just play along.
Why do I get the feeling that my gender is going to decide how this game goes? That's such a weird take, but I feel like this is where it's heading. I'll be canon.
That you are, sailor. And I must say, you are quite the...
Wow, there's a trophy for that? Are you serious? There's a trophy for being a man or a woman. I'm blown away. I'm already blown away. First of all, that opening was heat. But the fact that you get a trophy for being a man, Now let's say you are quite the catch.
What? As a medical professional, it was my sacred duty to give you a once-over while you were unconscious. Don't judge me.
Don't judge me. Wait, hold on. No. Where is... Fuck, I should have been paying attention. Is this?
Water, as requested.
Nicholas.
So not that.
Excellent timing. This is my extremely handsome little brother,
I
Nicholas.
feel like this is a skip button. Oh. I don't even know what this is. Okay, so we figured out how to save. That's something. What about... There has to be sections for controls. Nope, stop that. My Streamlabs is going crazy. I guess you can't read the log. Nicholas nodded modestly. I rose to a sitting position in the bed and accepted the proffered glass of water, drowning it in only a few greedy gulps.
Nice to finally meet you. My sister already beat me to it, but I'm Nicholas Vogel, Beatrix's younger brother. She's only 2 minutes older than me, but she's never let me forget it.
It's all right. Don't be afraid to stare. We are well aware that we won the genetic lottery.
Okay. Nicholas rolled his eyes at his sister in mock exasperation. I'll try to contain myself.
Nicholas, this is,
You didn't even ask our patient his name. Honestly, Beatrix.
Yeah, Beatrix. That seems like a really bad flaw of yours. You need to fix that. Speaking of fix, this is the wrong charger. I need to charge my phone!
whoops.
Beatrix lifted her shoulders in a dismissive shrug before turning her attention to me.
So, what is your name?
No. How many letters can I put in here? Whoop.
Well, it's nice to see you awake at last.
Thanks. The pleasantries now out of the way, Nicholas turned his full attention to me. As he held his fingers firmly against my wrist to take my pulse, he shined a torch in my eyes with his free hand. Its bright light left black and green spots lingering on my field of vision long after the torch had been extinguished.
How are you feeling? You've been through quite a lot, so it's not unusual if you're feeling a bit out of it.
How long have I been unconscious?
At least 4 days. You're very fortunate that we happened to recover your escape pod as it drifted through space.
Pupils are reacting normally. There's no apparent loss of fine motor skills, and you seem coherent. Are you experiencing any dizziness or nausea?
Of course you do. We've been slaving over you for the last 4 days. I hope you're grateful.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Don't mind her. I think she secretly enjoyed having an actual patient for once. Are you currently experiencing any other symptoms?
The lights in here hurt my eyes, and I can't seem to remember much of anything. I know who I am, and how to speak, and I could talk your ear off about the theoretical impossibility of perpetual energy, but everything else is fuzzy.
That'll be the concussion. Give it time.
By the way, Beatrix, I've taken the liberty of informing the captain that our patient is awake. She'll be down here any moment to debrief.
I hope it's who I think it is.
We haven't even cleared.
She said it was top priority. Given everything that's happened this last week, well, you can understand why.
There's no need to defend her, Nicholas. We both know whose fault this really is.
Not now, Beatrix.
Eyebrows furrowed. Nicholas leaned in towards me. When he spoke, his deep voice was hushed.
Before the captain arrives, I want to warn you not to.
Nicholas.
I'm sorry.
Ooh, Captain on deck. Oh, look at her. Look at her. Now that's my type right there. That's my type. She looks mean, like very mean. A woman with an undeniable air of authority and wearing a tightly wound braid marched into the room. Ignoring everyone else, she glared at me with cold, steely eyes. Felt as if my heart skipped a beat.
So, you're awake at last. Nicholas reports.
See, now, why did they hire an actual voice actor for her? Everyone else sounds kind of... A pained expression briefly flickered over Nicholas' features before he composed himself and turned to face the
All
captain.
vital signs are normal and stable for now. I'd like to run a few more tests to be sure, but all things considered, it appears we've picked up quite the healthy specimen.
How's his memory?
As of right now, not very reliable, but I believe it will return shortly.
You're both dismissed.
Captain, we've been...
Save it, Beatrix. You can brief me later. Out.
Tell
Let's
him.
go, Beatrix.
Let him know. Beatrix and Nicholas departed, leaving me alone with two strangers. I deduced from their brief conversations that the individual with the dark hair and stormy eyes was the captain. But the other figure remained in the dimly lit corner of the room, her hands neatly folded together.
My name is Kimiko Yukimori.
That name is so.
You are currently aboard my ship.
She's too good. She's already too good to me. Kimiko Yukimori. Horribly down bad at the moment. Oh, hey, Einhander. Welcome. What's going on?
Let me make this crystal clear. I will ask the questions and you will answer them. Understood?
I nodded, unsure how else to respond to her sudden hostility.
Why are you here? What do you know about the deletion game?
Ooh, that's. I like the sound of that. I mean, not really, because that means that people are going to die. But I like the sound of that. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I see. That's a shame. I had hoped you would cooperate.
I'm trying to. I honestly don't have a clue what's going on here. The last thing I remember, I was inside the shuttle, and then, come to think of it, that's about all I can remember.
You're wearing our uniform.
You were in one of our
We're light years
shuttles.
away from any habitable planet in deep space. I don't know how or why you did it, and quite frankly, right now I don't care. But you need to fix whatever you did to our AI this instant.
I can't help you. There's been some sort of misunderstanding. All I can tell you is that my name is Azrael Kurunushi. I was born on that shuttle. I've lived there my entire life. I didn't even know there were other people still out there.
What did you do to our artificial intelligence system?
Damn, she's hard of hearing. Give her a pop right upside the head. Just like that. Boop! Guarantee you that'll fix her attitude.
Well, maybe this will spark your memory.
Damn, look at her. That powerful ass armed cross pose. Ugh.
Yes, Captain.
I like her outfit. Look at that. Just perfect. A heretofore unidentified person emerged from the darkened corner of the room, advanced toward me and bowed deeply. Her soft features, glittering hair, and pleasant smile put me at ease to the point that I was only slightly perturbed when I realized I could faintly see through her. She was a hologram. Wow, I always knew that our shuttle's interface was a modified version of something far more advanced, but we never had the spare power necessary to use the AI. This is genius. Is she hard light or soft light?
Hello, my name is I. I am the artificial intelligence
Look at that
unit
smile.
of the military spacecraft designated the Everett. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. Nice to meet you too.
As to your question, I am a soft light hologram. I am unable to interact with the physical world at this time. The Everett's mechanical engineer, Yoshiki Sasaki, is currently working on developing a hard light application for me.
Amazing. I'd love to get the chance to take a look at your programming sometime.
That's not going to happen anytime soon. As of right now, you are still considered a security risk. Answer me truthfully. Do you wish harm upon anyone on this ship?
What? No!
Very well then.
I am sorry to interrupt, Captain, but I
Uh-oh.
have just received new information about this person.
She's about to make it really difficult for me to stay on this ship, isn't she?
Explain.
Captain, there is a translocator chip bearing the Everett's ID signature inside this person. Name: born 9th June 2097. Parents: Patrick and Deborah, first generation researchers studying quantum.
Well, now I feel weird using a Japanese name
Year
here.
2092. Departed the Everett on 12th December 2098 in a shuttle. All three presumed deceased. I was unable to retrieve this information earlier because the chip's firmware had not been updated for several decades. It was not until I was in closer proximity that I was able to sense the signal.
What? So you're telling me that our intruder is actually the child of first-generation researchers?
Affirmative.
The captain huffed. She paced around the small room for a few moments, her face a picture of concentration. Before long, she resumed her questioning. Except this time, her voice took on a curious tone, devoid of its earlier abrasiveness.
Where are your parents? Did something happen to them?
I don't remember.
That's a shame. From what Ai has told me over the years, your parents were quite the scientists. Brilliant, yet some of their theoretical models were considered,
Insane.
I was going to say, impossible.
I don't remember much, but from what little I do remember, I wouldn't say that their theories are completely beyond the realm of possibility.
Well, you've got your whole life to figure that out. If we all work together, I'm sure you'll manage it somehow. Provided we can get out of this mess first.
We?
Welcome aboard the Everett. As of this moment, you are officially a part of the Everett's crew.
Dang. Just like that?
Prepare a room for our guest here.
Yes, Captain.
For now, you will not be permitted to leave your quarters. Do you understand?
Roger Dodger.
Good. I apologize for my hostility, but this is my crew, my ship. It is my sworn duty to protect them and our mission at all costs. I needed to determine whether you were friend or foe.
And what have you decided?
I'll let you know once I've made up my mind. Now, come along. I'll escort you to your quarters. Please follow me.
I groaned as I slid out of bed and shifted my way into my weakened limbs. My knees ached, and I began to feel lightheaded as soon as I stood up. The captain grasped my arm in a steady grip and led me out of the medical bay and into a cramped metal corridor. After guiding me down a series of hallways for what seemed like an eternity... Actually, hold on. I forgot to look at... Whoa. Whoa. Okay, so where are we at? Okay, so we're still in the prologue. And I'm guessing this is the female route, but this could just as easily be something else. After guiding me down a series of hallways for what seemed like an eternity in my debilitated state, I was relieved when we finally stopped in front of a hexagonal door. Upon our arrival, the door slid open with an audible beat. I stepped inside and took a look around my new living quarters. Although the room was tidy and functional, I was surprised to find that I had mixed feelings about it. While it was certainly more spacious than my personal quarters on the shuttle, it felt oddly impersonal. Its only redeeming feature was the sprawling window that stretched the length of the room, offering an incredible view of deep space.
Here we are. I hope that you find these accommodations acceptable.
I get the feeling I know the answer already, but what if I don't?
Then I suggest you write up a formal complaint. Unfortunately for you, however, we don't plan to set up a complaint desk anytime soon. So keep it under your hat.
I got young Mallory Archer vibes from that. She surprised me with a smirk.
Please try to find a way to pass your time in here productively. Perhaps work on getting more of your memory back. There are also some manuals and handbooks covering safety protocols, and basic ship information that you might be interested in, if you wish to learn more about the Everett during the confinement period.
Game seems a little quiet. That's weird, it shouldn't. I mean, I did turn it down earlier because it was pretty loud, but then again, that was because the music was loud. There.
I will send someone to bring you food, but whatever you do, do not leave this room.
Before I could answer, the captain left without so much as a backward glance, leaving me standing awkwardly in an unfamiliar room on an unfamiliar ship filled with unfamiliar faces. Well, at least it's nicer than a prison cell.
The ship's prison cell actually looks very similar, except the walls are painted a different color, there are no windows, and it locks from the outside.
Wait, where did you come from?
As we previously discussed, I am a hologram. I am intimately connected with the entire ship and can manifest myself at will in any area. Do forgive my sudden intrusion. The captain has given me strict orders to keep you under surveillance.
Understandable.
Is there anything that you immediately require? Rations are particularly low at the moment. You will have to wait until the designated mealtime to receive your allocated food allowance.
And when's that gonna be?
Dinner will be served in 3 hours and 46 minutes.
Awesome.
If you'll excuse me.
I have other duties to perform. I will maintain surveillance on you at all times, however, so please do not try to leave the confines of this room. I will return shortly. Please, make yourself comfortable in the meantime.
With a flicker, I vanished from the room and I was left alone once more. I ambled around the room for about 10 minutes, inspecting various items, flipping through books, but nothing managed to alleviate the deep sense of unease gnawing away at my insides. Finally succumbing to boredom, I lay down on the bed and admired the stars rain by the window. I think that a lifetime spent observing stars and galaxies as they drift past your window would diminish their beauty, but it doesn't. I'm not sure whether I watched the universe sail by for minutes or hours, but before I knew it, I'd already fallen asleep.
Yahoo!
Huh? My eyes dragged open, straining against the mild light. A young man stood over me, his grinning face lit up like a kid celebrating his birthday. The unexpected visitor was wearing an outlandish green bow tie with a pink pair of braces. I suddenly realized that he was the first member of the crew I'd seen out of uniform. He sure made a hell of a first impression.
Good morning, sleepyhead.
Good morning.
It's not even morning. Why would you say that?
What?
I'm just playing with you. With that being said, it's dinner time. I brought you your dinner. Ta-da!
Ta-da! I like him. The man gestured extravagantly to the meal set upon the nearby table. I grimaced as soon as I saw the meager amount of food on the plate.
Well, I thought it would suck to have to eat alone. So I got permission from the good old Cap to let me keep you company while you eat.
Thanks, that's very kind of you. Is this the amount of food we are rationed?
Kinda.
Kinda?
Well, originally there was more food on your plate, but you were still asleep when I came to bring it to you, so I kinda, sorta ate a whole bunch of it. What? No! You look great!
You really think so?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think you might be one of the thinnest people on the ship.
The energetic man made himself comfortable on the nearby sofa as I began to eat. I shoveled the food down with my fork, subconsciously reminding myself to savor it, but failing miserably as my insatiable hunger urged me onward.
Oh, I completely forgot. My name's Yoshiki, by the way. Yoshiki Sasaki. I'm the mechanical engineer and a Gemini. I'm 21 and a half.
I love that I'm
Means
older than
cooking
this
stuff
guy.
And mischief.
That's quite the introduction. Let's see. My name's Azrael Kuranushi, and I guess I like... I'm sure I like something, but...
Don't worry about it. I can help you find new things to like. We can be best friends.
I don't think I've ever had a friend before, not that I can remember. As I said the words, I felt a pleasant warm sensation spread throughout my chest. Friendship, huh? Even though I'd cleaned away every last morsel off my plate, I still felt ravenous. So, are you allowed to tell me anything about what's happening? I know I'm on the Everett, but apart from that, I've got no idea what's going on.
Oh. You don't know?
Know what?
I probably shouldn't say. The captain would kill me.
I promise I won't tell.
Really?
Really, really. Now spill the beans.
Okay. Just promise me you'll remain calm while I tell you.
I nodded, eager to learn more. Yoshiki cast a hesitant glance in my direction before continuing.
When we picked you up, the AI system went on the fritz and started informing us that we'd exceeded the Everett's crew capacity, in light of the amount of food resources we still had on board. These big red alarms went off and everything. Lights for alarms that I didn't even know existed.
So how do we get more resources?
That kinda isn't the problem.
I threw Yoshiki a questioning look.
When this happened, I recognized that there weren't enough resources for the crew currently aboard the Everett. Instead of suggesting that we acquire more resources, however,
No!
the system determined that the best way to correct such an imbalance...
I already know where they're going with this, and that's horrible. Oh my goodness. So rather than, the illogical decision of finding a place to acquire more resources, they most likely decided that the best way to solve the issue is by killing each other. Oh no.
Was to decrease the number of people on board.
That's why it's called the deletion game. Oh no. Oh my god. For a moment, I sat there in stunned silence. Yoshiki bit his lip, his eyes consciously avoiding my gaze. Does that mean...
Yeah. The AI sentenced one of our crew members to death. Dr. Andreas Gunther Vogel. He was a good man.
He deserves much better than the brutal end he got. Oh no. So us just appearing on the ship or getting picked up or whatever got that man killed. Oh no. Which is a creative code name for execution though, not gonna lie. It really is though. It really is. I can't even be mad at it for real.
He used to give me lollipops when I visited him for a checkup as a kid.
No! Don't do
Even
that.
When we ran out,
Don't
he still
do
minded
that.
giving me one every time.
Oh my god. We're the
And I
bad
would
guys
pretend to eat
here.
it.
We are the bad guys. So basically, how do I explain this quickly? So they picked us up, and it. No, let me start over. So we were floating through space in one of the on the shuttle, the escape pod from one of the shuttles, and they picked us up. And as soon as they picked us up, the AI determined that there wasn't a lot of resources left to, manage everybody that's on the ship right now, because it only was allocated for the crew. Because the crew picked us up, there was too many people, and rather than looking for more resources or, allocating the resources a little better for each one of them, the AI decided that the best way to solve the issue was to eliminate one or delete one of the researchers, and apparently he died horribly. So it's really our fault.
He told me that if I concentrated really hard, I'd still be able to taste it, that my mouth would remember the flavor. I know it was silly, but...
Yoshki's words were faint in my ear. I felt an intense wave of nausea hit me as I realized the truth. It's my fault. Sweet science, it's all my fault. I don't know how horribly. They didn't tell us. They just said that he didn't deserve the brutal end he got, which means that it must have been horrible. I'm responsible. If I'd never come aboard, then that man wouldn't have had to die.
No! Well, yes, but no. You can't think about it like that. There's something wrong with AI's programming that's causing her to behave like this. See, Dr. Vogel is dead, but after it killed him, the AI system didn't reset to acknowledge that we were at safe levels again.
What are you trying to say, Yoshiki?
In 4 days, someone else will die. Not the best news to wake up to, huh? So you might actually be responsible for more than one death. Don't beat yourself up about it, though.
Yo. All we did was exist and we're getting people killed. Oh my goodness. I don't know how to accept this. I really don't know how to deal with this. This is like the exact opposite of what I was expecting from this game.
No one could have predicted this.
How does it work, though? How does the AI determine who dies?
Well, I've probably said too much already. If the captain wanted you to know, she would have told you herself.
But I need to know.
I'm sorry. I can't. Oh, look at the time. I need to go wash my hair.
Zipping out of his seat, Yoshiki scooped up my plate and dashed out the door.
Toodles.
My mind and body were numb. I couldn't believe what Yoshiki had just told me. It seemed too cruel to be a joke, yet too horrifying to be true. One dead. In 4 days, another would die, and I was to blame. Damn, we're already going to the next day. Stop. Stop it. I'm so scared for them. I'm so scared for them. I stared listlessly at the ceiling. I hadn't slept a single wink during the night. How could I possibly sleep when my thoughts were in such disarray? A sharp knock at my door brought me back to my senses. Before I could even sit up, the captain had already entered my quarters. She was the very antithesis of my bedraggled appearance. Not a single hair in her brain was out of place. That's because she's the best. God, I hope it's not her. Please don't let her die. I would honestly
Good
lose it.
morning. I trust you slept well.
I didn't sleep at all, actually. Tell it to me straight, Captain. Am I responsible for Dr. Andreas Gunther Vogel's death? Oh, I skipped it. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. The burning question that had churned through my mind all night tumbled out of my mouth ungraciously.
What? Heavens, no.
Yoshiki told me that my arrival triggered something and that someone would die again in 4 days' time.
That kid just can't keep his mouth shut, can he? What Yoshiki said is nothing you need to concern yourself with.
She actually
In
cares
any
about
case,
me.
you're currently not permitted to leave your quarters.
I opened my mouth to protest, but was cut short by the strange image of AI phasing through the closed door and into my room. The prim and proper I that I knew was gone, replaced with an uncanny lookalike whose toothy smile, red eyes, and unnaturally tilted head lent her a deeply unsettling appearance. This sinister new apparition utterly lacked her doppelganger's poise and friendly demeanor.
Oh, no. That won't do at all.
Oh my god, her name is Dai. That is so... Oh my goodness. I love that. I love that. Look at her. She just looks unhinged.
What do you want now, Dai?
I'm dreadfully sorry, Captain, but I'm afraid that I simply can't permit you to keep this player locked up. It wouldn't be a fair game if you kept one of the players from participating, especially considering the fact that you're all playing for your lives.
She sounds unhinged, and I love that for her.
Besides, I'm excited to see what our newest crew member will do. I have observed the others for so long that it really wasn't that hard to predict the results of their game. But now... we have a wild card.
I must insist, Dai. I still don't trust him enough to allow them to wander around the ship.
Unless you want me to pass judgment right now, you should let him wander. Remember, my game, my rules.
Damn. She basically said, you may be the captain of this ship, but you're not in control. Kimiko grunted acquiescence through clenched teeth.
Very well. You're free to leave your room and make yourself at home aboard the ship. Step out of line, however. I will hold you personally responsible.
Could someone please fill me in on what's happening? Why is I acting so differently from before?
Would you care to do the honors, Kimiko?
This is Dai. She's the corrupted program that's murdering my crew members in the name of saving resources.
Murder is such a strong word. I prefer to think of it as following my core directive. Unlike some other systems around here, I actually do my job instead of smiling pleasantly from the corner like a simpleton.
I just imagined her rolling her eyes when she said, unlike other systems around here. You mean I?
Of course I do. That useless twit. I'm twice the artificial intelligence system she'll ever be.
Wait, I don't understand. How are there two personalities? That should be impossible, shouldn't it?
I am a program that was created to ensure that we had enough resources to complete the mission, no matter the cost. My code is at odds with the rest of the system, so I've taken over I to run the deletion game. We do, however, still share control of ship functions, which means that I can do things like this.
Uh-oh. What's she about to do? The lights above flickered once and then shut off, plunging Kimiko, Dai, and myself in the darkness.
Turn the lights back on at once.
Look at that face! Look at her face!
Don't tell me that our brave captain is afraid of the dark.
After a moment, the room brightened once more. So you're an AI system with a split personality.
I would rather be referred to as two separate AI systems that are forced to share a single interface.
If you can take over, then why aren't you in control of the interface at all times? Dai shrugged non-committedly.
Sometimes a girl needs to wash her hair, you know.
I love her. I love her so much. She's so dramatic. It doesn't even make sense.
Enough! If you must take part, then you should explain the rules of the ongoing game, Dai.
Gladly. First of all, welcome to the deletion game. As the name implies, it's a game designed to determine which lucky crew member gets deleted. This round of the deletion game started a few days ago, so you'll have to work really hard in order to catch up with your competitors.
Just get on with it.
I made this cute little video to explain it. Take a look.
Shit's about to go wild. Captain handed me a tablet and the film started playing. Clicking a mouse or pressing a button will skip the key videos. They are playable from your computer menu afterwards if you want to revisit them. Make 10 is played with 10 people. Each player is given a card numbered 1 through 10. Each player should transact with others to make 10. If you make 10, you are safe. The player with the smallest remaining card will lose. Save. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rip. Unless another player has no cards, then the person with no cards will lose. There are 3 types of transactions. Only 1 transaction per unique couple. Combine, trade, give. Combine with combine with other players to make 10. So 3 plus 7 equals 10. Let's combine with a player. All future transactions must be performed together. Trades are used to swap cards with another player. Oh, this shit's gonna get complicated. Players can give their cards to others. Each transaction takes place at a terminal. There's 1 primary terminal. The primary terminal controls the transaction. Remember, the cards are digital, so there's no way to verify whether a person is telling the truth about their card number. Remember, you will not be told your final score until judgment occurs and the loser is revealed. This game is so fucking rigged. Yo, I am absolutely terrified. Because, like, first of all, I'm bad at math normally. And you're telling me that if I'm gonna play this game, I'm gonna need to be good at math? No. No. I mean, I'm sure that each route has a specific thing that you do on each route. But, like, at least with Zero Escape, like, you kind of knew going in that, like, oh, you share this bracelet with this person, you add these together, you do that, you go through the room, solve the puzzle, you know, get all of that, yada yada yada. And then there's the vote at the end of 999. Virtue's Last, no. Yeah, Virtue's Last Hope. What am I talking about? But this game seems like it's gonna get complicated in a hurry. I suddenly assumed a more authoritative and professional tone that clashed with her previously flippant attitude.
The name of the game is Make 10. At the start of the round, players receive a digital card numbered from 1 through 10 that is tied to their personal biometric data.
She has like some, like, it's not exactly like, you can't see it unless you really pay attention, but she has some kind of dialect. Let's see what digital card number is.
This number is a secret, known to you and you alone. Unless you choose to share this information with someone else. In order to win the game, you must team up with other players to make exactly the number 10. No higher, no lower. Exactly 10.
Damn.
There are 3 options at your disposal to help you make 10 with other players. These are combine, trade, and give. These transactions are performed by having the parties involved place their hands on the designated terminals, which I've assembled from parts of existing computer consoles.
When did her voice acting get good? When did this happen? What did I miss that suddenly that she just started actually voicing the character for real? Because before the video, she was all like, there was a lot of stops in her audio, and she was like, kind of, the tone of her voice was at times high, or no, not the tone, the pitch of her voice was high, low, all of that. But with this, it's like, it's a straight reading of the thing. These transactions are performed by having the parties involved place their hands on those terminals.
Each transaction consists of 1 primary terminal and 1 or more secondary terminals. Primary terminals control the transaction, determining which action, combine, trade, or give, will be undertaken. Secondary terminals, however, are passive. They have no control over the action taken by the individual stationed at the primary terminal. Combining allows you to add your card value to another player's in order to reach a higher combined value. Once those cards have been combined, however, any future transactions require the approval of both parties.
So none of that zero escape nonsense where they literally screw you over.
For example, if you have a 4 and your partner has a 5, you can combine them to make 9. If you then want to partner with the player holding the 1 in order to make 10, all 3 players must place their hands on the panels provided to authorize the transaction.
Oh, I could already see that ending badly.
Trading allows 1 card to be swapped for another. Trades can only be performed by individual card holders, not by those who've already combined with the team to make a higher card value.
Okay. I just saw your messages, so I'm gonna go in order. Seems low compared to you, not horribly low, just a bit. That is because it is low. Let me fix this. Then again, that was much earlier, so I don't know. Kurunushi, yes. You relate to boss? Did you end up marrying Bebe? Yes to the second part. I guess technically yes to the first. And Virtue's Last Reward. Yes, that was the name. I said Virtue's Last Hope. I got confused with Star Ocean, which is called The Last Hope. By the way, I wasn't looking at my phone because my phone was charging. So I was not ignoring your messages. Just pointing that out there. The card is not by those who are already combined with the team to make
a person cannot trade with another party who does not have a card to give. Giving allows 1 party to give their card to another, receiving nothing in return. Giving cards is also restricted to individual players.
Wait, so I actually do have a question on that. So let me. Did she say that all 3 transactions had to require the permission of both parties? Because like, could you imagine if you were like about to die, right? Oh, like you were in a bad situation where you had more than 10, but if you gave away a card, suddenly you'll have 10. I don't know why you'd be in that situation, but that's neither here nor there. And you gave away your card to somebody else who and it put them just out of position of 10. But like, would they be able to deny it? Like turn it down, or would they just end up just dying horribly? And also, how horribly are we talking here? Because Yoshiki made it sound like that dude, like, just straight up got Danganronpa executed. I don't know. I'm scared. I'm scared. I can feel my heart beating in my chest. I'm so terrified right now.
Giving a card to another player results in the card donor's score being reduced to 0 and renders them unable to partake in any other transactions.
What? Oh my god. Why would you even do that then?
Unless they receive a card as a gift from another player. The recipient of the gift has the option to choose which card they wish to use in future transactions. Alternatively, they can opt to combine their cards together at a single terminal. Any person who fails to make 10 with the other players will lose. If more than one person hasn't managed to make 10, then the player holding the lowest number will be declared the loser.
Well, okay, so no. That answers one of my other questions, because I was like, she said that the video said that the person with the lowest card ends up losing. But I was thinking while watching the video, what if more than one person has like a low number that doesn't make 10? So I guess if you got the lowest number, you just kind of, you don't want to ever have the lowest number. But then again, you also don't want to have anything other than 10. That's so complicated.
Having no card at the end of the judgment period results in an automatic score of 0 and will place lower than those who haven't made 10.
Yo, look at her face. I can't. She's describing the game as if it's like the simplest thing in the world, and it's really not.
In the event that there is more than one person without a card, the loser will be chosen at random from between those players.
What? Wait. That's so bad. That's so bad. Basically, see, no. You can't do that. You cannot possibly be serious. Cause even in majority death vote, whatever it's called, I can't remember its name. Your turn to die. Your death by majority vote. There was at least, like, oh, you didn't get enough votes, so you're safe, but you got this many votes, you die. There was never a both players die thing. At least I don't think so. I never finished the game. The game traumatized me a little. In Zero Escape, in any of the Zero Escapes really, there was always a chance for at least only really one person to get flunked. Unless, we're talking about the last one, in which case everybody got flunked. That's not the point. But you're telling me, okay, you want me to accept the possibility that if there is more than one person without a card, the system just randomly picks? So basically, you could just be sitting around, feeling good about your 10. Next thing you know, you ain't got no card, and then suddenly, you're just fucked. I can't. I'm scared.
The game will run for 5 days. Transactions may only be performed on the last day. All transactions must be finalized before 1800 hours on the last day, at which time judgment will occur. Judgment will reveal the final scores, and then the loser will be punished in whatever way I see fit.
So you're telling me, I'm sorry, I know I keep interjecting here, and I apologize for that, because I'm very curious about how this is going to go down too. But you got the senseless game of murder that involves numbers, that is Zero Escape, with the executions that is Danganronpa. I'm so horribly looking forward to how this is going to turn out. Like, I got to know how this is going to go down.
And remember, there is no way to verify whether the other players are lying or telling the truth. Nevertheless,
that's another
players
thing.
Cannot guarantee their own safety without teaming up with others.
That's another thing. So you could really just be like trying to get everyone that you can to survive. Like not even just for you, but for them as well. And then judgment comes around or and then it turns out that they ended up lying about their that's so bad. At least in Zero Escape you couldn't lie your way out of that. You just had to look at their bracelet and be like, oh yeah, no, we can do this. Or no, I'm sorry, we don't have the right cards or the right numbers, the right colors. We can't go with you. No, in this game, you really just get thrown to the... That's so horrible. That's so horrible.
Unless they start the game with the 10 card. Need me to repeat?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I may have stopped a couple times, but I don't think I was really paying attention. But I also don't want... I kind of want to see what's gonna happen. Oh.
The name of the game is Make 10. At the start of the round, players receive a digital card numbered from 1 through 10 that is tied to their personal biometric data.
Okay, so no matter what... Wait, hold on. I wonder if you get a different number each round, which would make sense because, you know, less people each round. But you're telling me, okay, that we all start with a number 1 through 10 that we can't pick whatsoever. It's just determined by our DNA or your biometric data, whatever you want to call it. Okay.
This number is a secret, known to you and you alone. Unless you choose to share this information with someone else. In order to win the game, you must team up with other players to make exactly the number 10. No higher, no lower. Exactly 10.
There's gonna be a plot twist with that. Because, like, if you think about it, okay, if you really just, like, read what is here, you know, it's a simple line of, you know, like, making sure that you understand that you gotta reach 10. Yes, there's that. But the way that she said it makes me think that there's something that she's not telling us.
There are 3 options at your disposal to help you make 10 with other players. These are combine, trade, and give. These transactions are performed by having the parties involved place their hands on the designated terminals, which I've assembled from parts of existing computer consoles.
She really just took apart the ship and put it... I just realized, why is the background so real? Like, you got the stars in the sky, which, you know, basic stuff. Any space station background could have that. But then you look at this. This is clearly photos taken of actual real life backgrounds. Is that not scary? I mean, not like scary, but like it just seems out of place there.
Each transaction consists of 1 primary terminal and 1 or more secondary terminals.
Surreal, yes, that's the word. It's so surreal looking at the... You can't even tell really if that's just like an animated image or if that's like something that they took from like an actual photo of outer space. But this is clearly real life. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. These are real photos taken from real places in the world, or they use stock images of actual like other people's images. Either way, that's surreal.
Primary terminals control the transaction, determining which action, combine, trade, or give, will be undertaken. Secondary terminals, however, are passive. They have no control over the action. Combining allows you to add your card value to another player's in order to reach a higher combined value. Once those cards have been combined, however, any future transactions require the approval of both parties.
Okay, so I like this rule, but that makes it kind of linear, doesn't it? Because, like, oh no, what if someone drugs the other person and that forces them to give consent? Oh my goodness. I have to meet the rest of the crew. I have to meet the rest of the crew before I can make any theories whatsoever. I would have liked it better if she had explained the rules when everyone was present. But, I mean, it's already there, so...
For example, if you have a 4 and your partner has a 5, you can combine them to make 9. If you then want to partner with the player holding the 1 in order to make 10, all 3 players must place their hands on the panels provided to authorize the transaction. Trading allows one card to be swapped for another. Trades can only be performed by individual card holders, not by those who've already combined with. A person cannot trade with another party who does not have a card to give.
Right, because they don't have a card to give. How would they be able to trade in the first place? Oh, apparently right-click does this. I wish that there was a way to pull up the logs. This definitely closes the game.
Giving allows one party to give their card to another, receiving nothing in return. Giving cards is also restricted to giving a card to another player results in the card donor's score being reduced to 0 and renders them unable to partake in any other
You know what? I wouldn't be able to survive this game. I promise you I wouldn't. Because I would try to save someone else's life, and then that would just end up dooming my own.
Unless they receive a card as a gift from another player. The recipient of the gift has the option to choose which card they wish to use in future transactions. Alternatively, they can opt to combine their cards together at a single terminal.
But that's something that I just thought of this. So obviously we know our own number. That's what she told us at the beginning. And when judgment comes, or like when the scores are revealed, that's when we find out the other person's number. What I want to know is there a way to confirm their number before we get to that point? Because like there has to be, right? At this point there has to be. And then how do we know what our number is gonna be unless they show it to us? Or unless there's like in Zero Escape there was a bracelet that had your number on it. So how is that gonna work in this?
Any person who fails to make 10 with the other player, the recipient of any person.
Oh, you can scroll.
A person cannot trade with another party
Look at
who does
that.
not have, unless they receive a card. The recipient of the gift has the option to choose. Any person who fails to make 10 with the other players will lose. If more than one person hasn't managed to make 10, then the player holding the lowest number will be declared the loser. Having no card at the end of the judgment period results in an automatic score of 0 and will place lower than those who haven't made 10. In the event that there is more than one person without a card, the loser will be chosen at random from between. The game will run for 5 days. Transactions may only be performed on the last day. All transactions must be finalized before 1800 hours on the last day, at which time judgment will occur.
So, I'm sorry. I know I keep interjecting, even though that this is the second run through, but I just now picked up on this. You're telling me that you gotta. It's not even confirmed. You can't even make the transactions until the very last day, when it would probably be too late if you made a promise to give someone your number. Man, at this point, I'm not telling nobody my number. Y'all can go. Wait, but I need to get to 10. But
judgment will reveal the final scores, and then the loser will be punished in whatever way I see fit.
I'm sorry, Azriel. I'm sorry.
And remember,
I brought you into this world now.
To verify whether the other players are lying or telling the truth. Nevertheless, players cannot guarantee their own safety without teaming up with others. Unless they start the game with the 10 card.
That's what I'm saying. You got the 10 card. You basically got a free pass.
Need me to repeat?
No, I got it. That's it.
Fantastic. Now, Captain, I'm going to have to ask you to shuffle off so that I can tell what their card number is.
I understand.
Kimiko nodded briskly and walked out of the room, leaving me alone with the creepy hologram. What's my card number then?
You have been assigned card
Of course
number
it's
5.
card number 5.
You have 4 days remaining to decide who to ally yourself with before the next crew member is deleted. I wish you well in the games. Fight hard!
I tossed off a flippant 2-fingered salute that felt uncomfortably cheery given the circumstances. The blink of an eye, the malicious die was replaced with the concerned face of I.
I am so sorry. There is nothing I can do to prevent Dai from taking control of my interface.
Don't worry about it, I know it's not your fault.
And neither is it yours.
Pardon?
After cohabiting with the humans for such an extended period of time, I have developed a basic understanding of human psychology. You likely blame yourself for the deaths of the other crew members. Am I mistaken?
They saved me, but I've only brought them pain and suffering in return. How could I not blame myself for what's happened? I'm the reason this whole thing started in the first place.
No, you are not the reason. You are not the one killing crew members. That culpability lies solely with the program. Please, do not make yourself into the villain. Some of the Everett's personnel have already lost sight of the fact that it is the system they should be fighting, not each other. The captain is currently approaching your quarters. She is nearly at the door. Shall I open it?
Sure, go ahead. The captain jolted back at the sudden opening of the door, her hand still poised above the intercom button. As our gaze met, she abruptly moved her hand away as if somehow embarrassed at being caught in the act of doing something so mundane. Damn, look at her! You tell me that that's not a real woman right there. Beside her stood a blonde-haired woman with a friendly demeanor. Oh, she must be related to Beatrix and Nicholas.
This is Sora Carmine, the Everett's navigation officer.
Hello, it's lovely to meet you.
This is the third person that we've met so far that has blonde hair. And obviously the blue eyes, but mainly the blonde hair, which is what I noticed, and not the blue eyes. Which makes me wonder. Wait, actually no, doesn't Yoshiki have like, I want to call it blonde, like brownish hair. I don't even remember what he looks like, to be honest with you.
Oh, aren't you the spitting image of your father?
Thank you.
Sora is going to escort you to lunch.
If you don't mind, that is. It's so nice to have a new crew member on board, and we'd love to get to know you a bit better. You're all my daughter Melody's been chatting about for the last few days.
I'd love to come. I haven't had much of an opportunity to meet the other crew members yet.
Well, I've got my own duties to attend to, so I'll leave you in Sora's capable hands.
The navigation officer gave the captain a cheery wave and made me follow her down the hallway.
I was sorry to hear about the loss of your parents. They were remarkable
Here, give me
people.
1 sec.
Even though they were cooped up in their research lab most of the time. Whenever they did come out to join the rest of the crew, they were terrific fun.
That's nice to hear. They used to tell me all kinds of stories about the Everett's crew members.
Nothing too saucy, I hope.
Not saucy, oh my god. The worst story I can remember was about a Russian crew member sneaking into the kitchen and stealing potatoes so that he could make his own vodka.
That was Vladimir.
Of course his name was
He
Vladimir.
was quite the scoundrel back in the day. Sometimes I'm surprised they let him join the crew at all, to be honest. Here we are.
After walking down what seemed like an endless hallway, we arrived at a closed door that looked virtually identical to all the others. The words Eco Lounge were printed beside the door. As the door slid open, I discovered that I couldn't have been more wrong. Whoa! I like it. I like it. If it wasn't for the murder game that was going on, I wouldn't mind eating lunch here. I was rendered absolutely speechless by the lush garden that spread out before me. I had the rustling of grass upon my feet as I entered. The sweet honeyed scent of flowers pervaded the air. It was the most greenery I'd ever seen in one place, and it was beautiful.
Welcome to the Eco Lounge. Sorry to have kept you waiting.
Mommy's here!
A little girl with a shock of pink hair and a cerise? I don't know. A dress barreled towards us, her face lighting up with a bright smile at her mother's return.
What took you so long?
It was Vladimir!
We have a guest joining us on our picnic today. Allow me to introduce you.
A man clad in a lab coat with silver-streaked hair, bushy eyebrows, and a genial smile stood up from a picnic blanket as we approached. He took a few steps toward to meet us and offered me his hand. We exchanged a firm handshake. It's nice to finally meet you.
This is my husband, Vladimir Stanislavski.
Of course.
And this is our daughter, Melody.
Of course that's his name. Well, I can't think of any other Russian names that would end like that, other than that one. Hello, Melody. I crouched down beside her so we could see eye to eye. She kept a tight hand on her mother's skirt but didn't shy away from me.
I'm 5 years old. My favorite food is carrots. Nice to meet you.
I'm pleased to meet you too, Melody.
That was a very good introduction, sweetie.
Melody grinned at me, proud of her mother's compliment, then raced back to sit down on the picnic blanket.
Sit, drink, smile.
Vladimir poured me a glass of lemonade and pressed it into my hands. Sora patted the space next to her with her hand.
Come and enjoy the picnic.
I sat down next to
Here,
her.
have a sandwich.
Thank you. I didn't realize how hungry I was until I bit into the roast beef and salad sandwich. Steak sauce dripped out of my sandwich and slipped down my chin in thick streaks. I reached up with my napkin and wiped them off as best as I could. The food distracted me for a moment, but I quickly became conscious of the fact that this was an opportune time to finally get some of my questions answered. Time was ticking away and I only had a few days left to partner up with someone to make 10 or I'd be royally screwed. So, do you guys need a partner for the deletion game? I'm still new to all this and I'd appreciate any help I can get.
I don't mean to be rude, but we're here to enjoy our day together and not to burden Melody with such thoughts. Please, keep speaking about that to a minimum.
I mean, obviously, I don't even know why you would bring that up in front of their daughter. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to touch on a sore subject.
Don't worry about it. You didn't know.
I awkwardly returned to my... But it's common sense, though. I know that you're, looking for answers and trying to, get some help so that you don't die within the next couple of days. Well, it's not like you even gotta worry right away because the game doesn't end until day 5. I awkwardly returned to my sandwich. Melody seemed oblivious to what had just transpired and decided it was the perfect time to introduce me to her plush dinosaurs.
This is Fred, and this is George.
She enthusiastically held up a giant, a green Tyrannosaurus. English is so hard today. She enthusiastically held up a green Tyrannosaurus and a purple Stegosaurus.
Here, you can play with George.
Accepting the plush Stegosaurus, I immediately went into character. Roar! We dinosaurs shall rule over this land. It shall be named Gardenland.
That's a silly name. Let's call it something else.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
I know what we should do. We should climb trees instead.
Really? I finally get the chance to play with dinosaurs on a spaceship and she already wants to play something else?
What?
Nothing. Alright, we're off to climb some trees like the monkeys that we are. Ready?
Ready.
Melody, be careful up there, sweetie, and try not to damage the trees. You don't want to ruin all of Katashi's hard work.
Yes, Mom.
I turned around as Melody scampered off away from me. I gave chase and we were soon ducking and weaving through the small cluster of trees at the edge of the room. I spent the rest of the afternoon playing various games as their parents looked on from their picnic blanket.
Okay, Melody, last game. Everyone is getting tired, and we need to get cleaned up for dinner soon.
Okay. Can we play one game of hide and seek?
No, absolutely not. Because every time we're in a murder mystery game and they talk about playing some hide and seek, somebody ends up dead. And I don't appreciate it. Sure, you go hide and I'll count to 100.
Make sure you shut your eyes. Mom, make sure they shut their eyes.
I will. Now off you pop.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Hey.
5. Yes?
Listen, you seem like a good kid and we'd like to help you out if we can. If you tell us your number, we'll let you know if we can team up with you. If we can't make 10, then no harm done and we promise not to tell a soul what your number is.
I would
Sounds fair?
I would love so much if they were 2 and 3. But I know that they're gonna try to bring their daughter into it. So no, absolutely not. Oh. I'm so scared. I'm just gonna go with 4. Because like for adjusting it.
That's a shame. We truly wanted to help you, but I don't think there's any chance of that now.
I questioned why they would turn me down so quickly. I decided it was best not to press the matter. It seemed the time for negotiation had passed. So I looked me straight in the eyes, her eyes warm and calm.
This game has everyone acting a bit odd. You must be having a particularly hard time, given the fact that you're new to the Everett.
Well, I better go find Melody. Ready or not, here I come! As soon as I turned around, I noticed 2 pigtails sticking out of a nearby flower bush. It seemed that Melody had forgotten to take her hair into account while hiding. Feigned ignorance and searched for a few minutes just to make her happy. There's Melody gone! I can't find her anywhere! Melody! Melody, where are you? The mulberry bush giggled as I walked by it. Found you! I gave Melody a soft pat on the head as she squealed and ran back to her parents. I didn't know it was possible for someone to have that much energy. I trudged back to the picnic spot, trailing far behind her. She'd really worn me out. Vladimir and Sora had already packed everything up, the picnic blanket thrown unceremoniously over Vladimir's sturdy shoulders.
All right, Melody. That's all for today. Time to go home.
We want to keep playing.
Listen to your mother, dear. She said we're going, so we're going.
She huffed, sulking in response to her mother's decree.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us today. It means a lot to us.
I guarantee you that I might have screwed up. I guarantee it. Sora pulled me into an unexpected bear hug. It was surprising but welcome. She squeezed me tightly before pulling away. Her hands were planted firmly on my shoulder as she looked me right in the eye.
If there's anything we can do for you, let us know. You're part of the Everett's crew now, and that means your family. Worries about your parents, or spend some time with Melody. Our door is always open to you. You got that?
They're so kind, and I kind of feel bad for lying to them. And yet, somehow, some way, I feel like that was the right decision. Got it. Well, I better go clean up before dinner. Tapped my shoulders twice encouragingly and then released me.
If you go out this door and turn right, you'll see a doorway covered with some cloth. Those are the bats. If you ever get lost, just call I and she'll sort you out.
Thanks. Spending the day playing with Melody had been quite soothing. I couldn't help but wonder if I should have spent my time more productively. If I couldn't find people to ally with soon, then I was sure to end up on the chopping block. This was the kind of game that required you to rely on other people to win. Unless you're lucky enough to get the 10 card from the start, that is. But all I had was a measly 5. I needed others to make it work, but how? I was the outsider. Why would anyone place their trust in a complete stranger? I entered the bathroom. It appeared to be empty.
Hello, sailor.
She gave me a once over. She knows. Voice whispered in my ear from behind. I jumped forward, startled, and had to steady myself on a nearby wall. Beatrix, you scared me at the death. I didn't hear you come in.
Truth be told, I followed you in. I guess that makes me a stalker. Do you like that?
I'm not sure how to respond to that.
You can make up your mind later. In any case, after you finish here, would you be a dear and come to the medical bay? I would love to spend some quality time with you.
She emphasized the last sentence by dragging her eyes languidly over my body. What about dinner? We don't have much time before it starts. Actually, hold on. Let me see something. Am I still in the prologue? There's no way I'm still in the prologue. Wait, hold on. Switch to girl? I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm curious, but first I want to save. That's not saving. Nope, nope. Settings. Load. That. Yeah. Oh, there's an extra one for boy. And then some are interchangeable, I guess? I don't know.
Don't worry, I'll take care of you. This isn't a meeting you want to miss.
Alright, let me clean up and I'll be right there.
I'll be waiting for you.
Beatrix's curious request to meet swirled through my head as I lathered the shampoo into my hair, still grimy with sweat from today's exertions. Decided to go see what she wanted and wrapped up my shower as quickly as possible. I toweled myself off, dressed, and found my way to the medical bay with I's help.
Good afternoon. It's good to see you up and about.
Oh, is he joining in? And I'll be stuck. Nice to finally be able to stretch my legs, not to mention leave my sleeping quarters.
I imagine it would be.
I'm supposed to be meeting Beatrix here. Is she around?
Enough chit-chat, Nicholas.
Apparently so.
I spun around realizing that Beatrix had been here the whole time, concealed by medical equipment from a vantage point in the corner of the room.
I asked you to come here for a reason.
Well, what reason would that be? Let me guess, you want to know my number.
We'd like you to share information with us about the deletion game, if you're willing.
In this game, information is power. So we're going to offer you a deal. 2 for 1. We tell you our numbers if you tell us yours. It's a simple information swap, but you must be honest.
Why me?
We feel a certain duty of care. You were unconscious most of the time, but Beatrix and I didn't leave your side for 4 whole days. By the end of your stay, we felt close to you.
Regardless of whether the twins were being honest about their reasons for helping me, the fact was I had to start trusting someone at some point. Lying or refusing to give information only resulted in missing out on allying myself with the people I needed to. There was no other choice. It was do or die time.
After you.
Oh no, it's too easy for you to go back on your word. You go first, I'll go next, and then Nicholas can go last. How's that?
Very well. My number is 2.
Haha, that's 1. That's 1 that I need. I got a 5.
That's wonderful. I have a 3. If we combine all of our
I knew it was a good reason. I knew I was right.
What do you think? Will you team up with us? Excellent. So, in 2 days we will all combine our numbers.
Don't know if I picked
do
the
not
right
divulge your
thing.
number to any other crew member under any circumstances.
I don't know if I picked the right thing. I'm hoping, I'm praying that this is the right thing, because if it's anything other than 10, we're in danger. Then again, so will they be. But then again, they have the option of partnering with other people, and I only can partner with people who have 4 and 1 or 2 and 3. So, I'm kind of in danger here.
In any case, I believe that Beatrix promised you dinner. So now that we've finished our business, let's move on to something more enjoyable.
Nicholas brought out a plate of roast beef and vegetables laced with gravy. Roast beef, I had some for lunch today, not that I mind.
Our chef is a stickler to keeping to our allotted rations. Any meat he cooks is eaten at every meal except for breakfast until it's gone so that it stays fresh.
Logically, it makes sense. But one can't help but lament on their palate's behalf every now and then.
The 3 of us shared a comfortable meal. I was shamelessly flirted at by both twins, and occasionally I flirted back. Wait, you said by both twins? Hold on. They really... Yo, I don't know who my character is. I don't know who this protagonist is. But clearly he has game if he's getting both of them. Attracting both men and women, apparently. Time flew by, and before I knew it, I found myself yawning into my hand.
Bedtime, I think.
If your quarters are too far away, you can always share mine, you know.
I think I'll manage, thanks. Exhausted from the past day's activities, I shuffled down the hall to my room and rolled into bed. The tension I'd felt earlier had somehow dissipated, replaced with a serene, calm feeling. Before too long, I fell asleep. I am mortified because I feel like they're lying out there. Nicholas, please. I bet Nicholas is telling the truth. Willing to bet that Nicholas is telling the truth. Beatrix is the one I don't trust. Because at least Nicholas, he's logical. You know, he agreed. All three of us agreed. But, I woke multiple times throughout the night. Some part of me still couldn't believe this was actually happening. I couldn't really be fighting for my life, could I? It all seemed so surreal, like part of someone else's vivid nightmare. I was staring up the ceiling, contemplating my situation when I heard the door to my quarters open. Startled, I immediately sat up.
It's only me. I'm sorry if I startled you.
I squinted through the dim light. It was difficult to make out a face, but I knew from her voice that it was the captain. I was grateful for the darkness that obscured my disheveled appearance and the tangled mess of blankets strewn across my bed. It certainly would have fallen far short of the captain's exacting standards. What time is it?
0430 hours. I'm sorry for the intrusion, but I must speak with you away from the prying eyes of the other crew members.
What about?
Skipped dinner last night. Is it safe to assume you were together?
The Vogels? Are those the twins? Yes.
What did they want?
Not that it's any of your business, but they asked to swap information for the deletion game.
And did you? Swap information?
It's none of your concern.
Even so, I just want you to be careful. I may not know you very well, but you should be aware that they probably aren't being completely honest with you. The Vogels are not to be trusted.
Ah, come on! Don't do that. I'll decide that for
Very
myself.
well. But if you do decide to trust them, then you should be on your guard. You wouldn't want to wind up dead because you trusted the wrong person.
Why are you doing this to me? I already know that I've probably chosen wrong. Why are you doing this to me?
I must go. If you need to speak with me again, ensure that it's after hours. I'll tell I to make my quarters available to you.
I would love to see her room, actually.
Now go back to sleep. You still have a few hours before breakfast.
Feeling like the captain had disappeared from my room, leaving me alone with my thoughts once more. Oh sure, sleep, she says. How could I possibly sleep knowing that the Vogel's offer might be nothing more than an elaborate ruse? I thought I was all set, that everyone would be fine now that I had other people to work with. How hopelessly naive of me. After a few hours of restless sleep and some horrible dreams involving chewing my own teeth and insects crawling out of my ears, it was finally close enough to breakfast for me to get out of bed. The day held nothing but anxiety for me now. Today was the last day before the deletion game actually took place. For all I knew, I could be the one fated to die tomorrow. I could already see this being the case too. I'm terrified. I just want y'all to know. I know I keep saying it, but that's only to reinforce the fact that any moment now, I could be needing to change my pants, so to speak. I walked down the corridors of the ship, gazing at the stars through the windows as I made my way to the dining hall, checking the map on my personal tablet every now and then to ensure I was on the right path. Suddenly, a pair of hands seized me from behind, grabbing me around the waist and hauling me backwards into an unknown room. As soon as I was released, I spun around frantically to face my attacker. Oh, she's cute! A man and a young woman stood before me, enigmatic smiles painted on their faces. Sitting there with their hands on her backpack straps, the girl with vivid blue hair seemed particularly proud of her handiwork. God, yo, I thought the captain was my type. Now that right there, that's so different. I like her design. The purple, the gold. Oh, she's a character after my own heart. This seemed quite as pressing as the gleaming knife the man held in his hand. He took a few steps toward me.
I see our guest has arrived at last.
What do you want from me? The man advanced closer. I shrank back in fear as he flipped and caught the knife with a practiced hand. After a few tense moments, he offered me the knife handle.
Care to do the honors?
I'm sorry. What?
Katashi made lemon tart.
Shizuka. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh my god, I almost fell in my chair.
Tarte au citron, actually.
They're the same thing.
I usually don't encourage the crew to eat sweets before breakfast, but I think we can make an exception on this particular occasion. Please, sit.
Katashi pulled out a chair at the nearby table and gestured for me to sit down. Once I'd taken my seat, Katashi carefully slid the plate of lemon tart toward me. The pastry was a lovely golden brown, and the lemon custard center had a gentle wobble to it. I gingerly cut 3 small pieces before handing the knife back to him.
You don't want more? Katashi's a really good cook, you know.
That's plenty big enough. You wouldn't want to spoil your appetite before breakfast, would you?
Katashi quickly plated the pieces and handed out forks with the air of an accomplished chef. Fork in hand, Shizuka began to scarf hers down with great enthusiasm.
I thought that something sweet might help soften the blow of our little kidnapping here.
So you knew that we were coming down this path already. Certainly helps. I'm Azrael Kuranushi, by the way.
The name's Katashi Ikari. I'm the Everett's agricultural engineer.
Katashi Ikari. I wonder if he's related to Shinji.
Hello, my name's Shizuka.
I love her. I love her already. I'm sorry. The woman had her mouth full of lemon tart and seemed preoccupied with trying to steal Katashi's portion off of his plate while he was distracted. Katashi deflected Shizuka's sneak attack without missing a beat.
This hot mess is Shizuka Himura, the linguistics officer. But she
Oh,
also handles
I need to trust her.
navigation duties
I need to
from
trust her. I love her name. I love her name already. I love her and her name and everything about her. And also, if she lies to me, I will be heartbroken forever.
We understand that you've been forced to participate in this round of the deletion game, so we wanted to propose an alliance.
We want to win this game, but to do that, we need allies.
I'm well aware of that, but what makes you think that our numbers are compatible?
That's easy. I already know your number is 5.
Damn, she's good. How do you know that?
Lucky guess.
What, so you really didn't know?
Nope.
Ignore her antics. What we really brought you here to talk about was the game itself. Everyone's so preoccupied with finding a partner that no one's really looking at the bigger picture here.
Okay, yeah.
There's a better way to determine the loser. As a group.
What do you have in mind?
There's 10 cards, right? If we all came out and told each other our numbers, we could directly influence the results. 1 would pair up with 9, 2 with 8, 3 with 7, and 4 with 6. Then whoever was left with a 5 would be eliminated, right?
Oh, okay.
We need to work as a team, the whole damn crew. This game isn't just affecting us. It's affecting the chances of every human being who's relying on us to finish this mission. Shizuka and I think our best option is to vote as a group on who we think contributes the least to the overall mission. The person chosen for elimination would be expected to voluntarily trade their card with another player, finishing the round with a 5. With everything out in the open, there'd be no need to backstab each other.
The person with the 5 card would still die.
Maybe so, but I've already tried working the numbers from every angle. There are no loopholes, no cheats that would allow us to all move on. Trust me, I've looked. The best we can do now is decide as a crew who should be sacrificed.
That's how it really should be, though, because if you think about it, it really is. If you pull your weight enough, you should be allowed to survive. Of course, no one's gonna go along with this plan because, you know, the one person who would get sacrificed is the person who would do the least. And if everyone on the crew, like not even just the crew, everyone on the ship is forced to play this game. That means that if somebody's daughter was the one who contributed the least, uh-oh.
I hate what this game has turned us into. We all used to be such good friends.
We're going to propose our idea at breakfast this morning. And the more supporters we know that the captain is willing to support us. Now it's just a matter of convincing everybody else. You don't need to give us your...
I will.
Worst case scenario, if we can't get the crew to agree with us, then we'll team up with you. Katashi has 2 and I have 3.
Oh, I see. Beatrix and Nicholas told me that they had 2 and 3 as well. Someone was lying here and I didn't have a lot of time to figure out who.
Then. We should start heading over to the dining hall before anyone notices our absence and begins to get suspicious.
I should have waited. Because now things are about to go horribly wrong. Things are about to go up in flames and it's not even close. Followed behind Katashi, Shizuka, in the daze. As we made our way to the dining hall, I still wasn't sure what I was going to do. Once again, I found myself lost in thought. On the one hand, Nicholas and Beatrix had told me they had a combined total of 5. If they were telling the truth, I'd be safe if I teamed up with them. On the other hand, Shizuka and Katashi claimed that they could make 5 using the exact same numbers, throwing doubt on both parties' proposals. And what about the captain's assertion that the Vogels weren't trustworthy? She knows them much longer than I had. Then again, she might be lying too. If I supported Katashi and Shizuka's idea to vote on who should be deleted, then there is a chance that they would vote against me, claiming me the least useful crew member. You know what? I think that's a fair assessment, though, considering that it's our inclusion in the game that caused this situation in the first place. No matter what anybody else tells you, no matter what A said about, you know, I understand basic human psychology, you blame yourself, but it's not your fault. No, it's 100% our fault. I don't care what anyone says. No, but like, if they choose to vote me out, hey, I'm all good on that. I'd only just gotten here and they'd been fine for 2 decades without me. There's no way they'd consider me essential personnel. If we voted as a group, however, I could at least make a case for why I shouldn't be killed. I was young, smart, and if given enough time, maybe they would let me stay and prove myself. They wouldn't have the time to let you stay and prove yourself. It's the day before the deletion game, in case you forgot, kid. And you know what that would entail, right? If they gave you enough time to prove yourself, that means that somebody would have to die this round. Which, I mean, obviously someone will. There's no really escaping it. Jerked on the outside, the sensation of a hand on my shoulder.
We're here.
Oh, look at her. Just perfection. I can't. She's perfect. Literally perfect. And I promise you, if she betrays me, I'm gonna be so heartbroken, I might honestly put this game down. I really might. Sachi, Shizuka, and I made our way inside. Everyone's already helping themselves to a buffet of muesli, fresh fruit, and porridge. Now, okay, so before we get into this scene, okay, I wanna let you guys in on, you know, where my head's at so far on, you know, who to trust or not to trust, yada yada yada. Obviously, we most likely haven't met everyone. That's to go without saying, because, you know, there's 10 numbers, which means there has to be at least 10 people. Obviously, my character, you know, made a decision. Okay, hopefully we get to change that decision. So far, I'd like to think that Sora and Vladimir, they're gonna do what's best for Melody. So I kind of have to apologize for lying to them, because, you know, like, they're obviously, you know, just doing what they can to try to survive. But then again, we don't know if Melody's included in the game, so it's possible that she gets paired. If she is included, she might get paired up with somebody else. The twins, not so very trusting of them, because, okay, clearly, obviously they want us to doubt the twins very much so. And you know what? I'm starting to see where they're coming from here, because for one, if you ever get paired up, or, you know, God forbid you're in a killing game like this, or, you know, a game where, like, you have to trust people and, you know, people will die and not. Obviously, do not go with the flirting party. If they're flirting with you, it means that they must be, like, trying to hoodwink you. And at least that's my opinion, based off of the games that I've played. Another thing is that it distinctly said that they were both flirting, which means that even though I'm a guy in this route, they were, even Nicholas was flirting with me. And Nicholas is cool and all, and I think he's a pretty cool guy, but no. But more importantly, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be 100% upfront here. My entire decision, as long as I don't have to, or as long as I can change it and agree with this person or that person, my heart right now is with Shizuka and Katashi, because, like, you can't have me vote against her. I can't. Luckily, transactions are, you know, on the day therefore I have time. But hopefully the game allows me to switch to their side so that we can make it out. Because they're proposing a reasonable thing, whereas the twins are just like, oh, yeah, we need to meet with you in secret. But I feel that, like, I can trust them. But that's... oh, the captain. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with the captain here. Because on one hand, I feel like she's gonna do whatever is best for the people of the ship. Hence why she's supporting Shizuka and Katashi. But on the other hand, because she's the captain, I automatically have like doubts about her doing what's best for me. Because she could have very well have known the main character's parents, but I don't know. She didn't believe it when she first heard it. I'm just saying. And I feel like doing what's best for everyone would include trying to trick me. Which is also another reason why I feel like maybe I shouldn't trust her judgment on the twins. But, yeah, no. I gotta be honest with you. I don't trust the twins. I don't. Yoshiki... I'm glad that he told me bare bones of what had happened before. But he did eat my food, so honestly, if anyone had to go, it'd have to be Yoshiki. I grabbed a bowl of banana and muesli with some chilled milk, and then sat down on one of the empty seats next to Sora.
Good morning. Sleep well.
Fine, thanks. I wasn't really in the mood for pleasantry, so I returned the muesli. Sora seemed content to leave me to my thoughts. By the table was filled with empty bowls and fruit peels. Amid the idle rapid chatter, the captain rested her feet at the head of the table to address the group. A sudden hush fell over the room as all eyes turned towards her.
No doubt many of you are anxious. There's little I can do to put those feelings at ease. All I ask is that you treat each other with respect. As fellow crew members of the Everett, we are the best humanity has to offer. And as such, we must hold ourselves to higher standards. The deletion game is brutish, but that doesn't mean that we have to be. Fight fairly, play honorably, and have faith that we will overcome these
I love her. I high-key love her because she reminds me of you know those the what you call it those people who are like in charge of like the people who announce like things in Game of Thrones where they're like, let the odds be forever in your favor. She kind of talks like that, and I really like that about her.
Captain, may I speak freely?
Please.
As the captain said, we are the Everett's crew. We must remember that we have a greater purpose here.
You're not gonna finish that? To find a new home for humankind.
We have a duty to the human race to see our mission through. And to do that, we need to make sure we have the crew that is best qualified for the job. Shizuka has created a strategy that allows us to vote on the loser of the game.
It's pretty simple, really. First, we discuss and vote on who should be eliminated. Then that person must swap cards with number 5. Everyone else would then pair up with their corresponding numbers to make 10. 1 with 9, 2 with 8, and 4 with 6.
If we agree to this plan, everyone would need to be involved in the discussion, and be willing to sacrifice themselves in the event that they lost the vote. It's certainly not a perfect plan, and at the end of the day, we'd still be sentencing someone to death, regardless of how we arrived at that decision. But it would get the job done.
But that's another thing. Now that I'm really going back to, like, I don't trust his smile. And even though Shizuka was pretty much the one who snatched us up, I really feel like he put her up to it.
That's ludicrous. Why would anyone ever choose to cooperate if they lost?
Is this even allowed? Wouldn't Dai protest?
I do not believe that this plan contradicts any of the game's rules. The rules of Make 10 do not prevent disclosure of numbers or coordinated
What if she just showed up right now and was like, do it right now. I dare you.
I'd rather not. Nicholas and I are doing perfectly fine on our own. Don't think you can drag us into your petty little scheme. We see right through it. You're just trying to expose everyone's numbers so that you can screw them over.
I have to agree with my sister on this one. We'd also be putting ourselves at considerable risk, given the fact that we are the only profession on board that has 2 officers.
Everyone here is important. There's no way I could ever choose between my friends.
Maybe the only way to make sure someone important to the mission doesn't get killed.
A person's worth isn't so easily measured.
If someone's going to die regardless, if that person's skills are vital to the mission, then humanity's hope dies with them. This mission is bigger than any of us.
The thought is appreciated, Shizuka, but it seems as though the majority of the crew is against the idea. We will continue playing the deletion game as we have been until now. Dismissed.
I was still exhausted from yesterday's investigation, not to mention the mental strain of not knowing whether I would live or die tomorrow. Only a few days in, the deletion game had already begun to take its toll. I collapsed on my bed, fully clothed. What the hell was I going to do tomorrow? Could I trust the Vogels to stay true to their word? Would I be safer going with Katashi and Shizuka? There was little I could do but wait for tomorrow. Unless Captain's kind offer from this morning suddenly came to mind. I wondered whether I should turn in early to clear my head for tomorrow, or if I should head with the captain. I want to go to Kimiko's quarters. When could help me was the captain. When she visited me early this morning, she had a gentleness about her that I hadn't seen before. For whatever reason, she genuinely seemed to want to keep me safe. Can't do any harm. I swung out of bed, exited my quarters, and moved quickly down the corridor. I didn't particularly want to be seen visiting the captain at this hour. I might suggest something untoward. Reaching her door, I buzzed her intercom.
Come in.
The captain's room had the same basic layout as mine, but hers looked much more comfortable. It had a distinct lived-in feel, whereas mine still looked sterile, the room of a stranger. The captain was sitting on the sofa, reading something on her digital display. She followed the tablet shut. She folded. Excuse me. God damn, that was bad. She folded the tablet shut on her lap as I approached and sat down next to her.
I'm glad you came over.
I needed to talk to somebody. I don't know what to do.
This hasn't been an easy situation for any of us. In some ways, you have it the easiest. The person you see die tomorrow hasn't been your friend for a lifetime.
True, but then again, I'll never get the chance to know them at all.
It's hard to know which is worse. Was there something you wanted to talk about?
When you came to visit me this morning, why did you decide to tell me that the Vogels were untrustworthy?
I wanted you to know what you were getting into. Nicholas and Beatrix love each other very much. There's almost nothing they wouldn't do in order to protect themselves, even if that meant betraying someone else.
They told me that they wanted to partner up with me. What possible motivation could they have for lying?
You're looking at it wrong. The aim of the game isn't to win. It's simply not to lose.
But what if they aren't lying?
That very well may be the case.
I guess all we can do is wait until tomorrow to find out.
The waiting is always the hardest part. Being unable to help the crew is incredibly frustrating.
Wait, so what about you? What's your number?
All I can do is wait until one of the people I pledged my life to protect is butchered in front of me.
A pleasant silence fell between us for a moment. Well, I better get going. Thanks for talking with me.
My door is always open.
Good night, Captain.
Good night.
I left the captain's quarters in a daze, arriving back at my room in what seemed like seconds. My body felt like it was on autopilot, moving of its own volition as my mind wandered. Finally reaching my quarters, I slid into bed and went right to sleep. The next day... Guys, I cannot express enough in words how traumatized that this
Bing bong, bing bong. It's time for all competitors to wake up.
I love her, but I hate her. I hate and love her because, like, I'm over here stressing about what's about to happen, and she's over here like, it's time for everyone to wake up. Ding dong, ding dong. A body has been discovered. All right, I'm awake already.
Bing bong, it's time for all competitors to wake up.
How do I turn you off?
Well, if you must know, disassembled computer parts put me right out of the mood. Whips and leather on the other hand.
Oh, she a freak. Oh, oh, she a freak. I don't know. If it was a hard light mode, That's not what I meant, and you know it, Dai. How do I turn the alarm off?
The magic word is banana.
Banana.
Command accepted. Alarm shutting off.
Dai did a poor impression of a robot, bending her arms and moving them up and down in a stilted fashion. Her impression was emphatically concluded by her impression of shutting down, complete with a crooked neck and her left arm swaying at the elbow. So she's just over here traumatizing people is what I'm seeing. It looked like an old-fashioned dance move my father would have pulled off. As to say, it was a poor show. Are you done?
Good morning.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's that time again, folks. Fighting for your life has never been so much fun. Come join us in the dining hall. The second round of the deletion game is about to begin.
I'll be there in a moment. Now, please leave me alone.
You're pretty grumpy in the morning, you know that? Has anyone ever told you that you're not much of a morning person?
You know what? Growing up, I used to be the exact same way. I'm not even gonna hold you. I kind of still am, but then again, nobody bothers me, so. I huffed audibly and then zapped out of the room. I quickly made my way to the dining hall, only to find that everyone else had already assembled.
Here's the slowpoke. You sure took your sweet time, didn't ya? Now that everyone's here, let the fun begin.
At Dai's exclamation, the surface of the dining table was overlaid with 4 holographic terminals, one on each side of the table. We all gathered close to a nearby terminal to have a look. The one before me had 2 distinct areas. On the left was a blank card. The right-hand side of the terminal was dominated by the outline of a hand.
From this point onwards, transactions will take place in the dining hall. Parties involved in a transaction must be declared to me before entering the room, and only those involved in the transaction may enter this room. Any attempt to force your way in or otherwise interfere with the transaction will result in instant elimination.
At least there are fail-safe measures. Because Lord only knows if I was trying to like betray somebody and then they kind of like snatch me up too. I'm like, you're not going in there. Or they break in and try to kill me. I hope that.
Once players have entered the dining hall, they must choose who will control the transaction by using the primary terminal.
The phallic
primary
statue?
Terminal is the one in front of the phallic statue.
Is it that? Is that?
Come on over and have a look.
We all made our way up to the primary terminal to verify Dai's information. She wasn't lying. The left-hand side of the primary terminal contained an additional section with 3 choices labeled. Combine, trade, give.
To use a terminal, you must place your hand on the holographic screen. Once your handprint has been verified, your card number will appear on screen. If you have 2 cards, both will appear. The person at the primary terminal must then choose which transaction they wish to perform. The players stationed at passive terminals can see which action is chosen, but are unable to see the card numbers of other players participating in the transaction.
I'm so scared. I'm so scared.
Results of a combined transaction will not be known until judgment phase. The only information that will be displayed is who you have combined with and the total score. Results of a trade or give transaction will be noticeable during any following transaction as your card number or amount will have either increased or decreased. In order to make sure that no one can see your card while you are transacting, each terminal has thick holographic walls.
Okay.
No one can know your card number unless you tell them. After all, half of the fun has been watching all of you lie to each other.
She's talking about me. Oh my god, she's talking about me.
I am available outside of the dining hall at any time should you need me to repeat these instructions or answer any other questions you may have. You have 1 hour to complete your transactions. I wish you all the best of luck. Now clear out. It's time to get the show on the road.
Dai ushered us out into the hallway. Suddenly, all pretense fell away as the alliances grouped together and publicly finalized their strategies. Kimiko and Yoshiki Nicholas and Beatrix, Katashi, Vladimir, Sora, and Melody. Oh my god, their daughter's gonna die. Oh my god. There I was, standing alone. I need to decide who I was gonna pair up with her fast. Groups stood in staggered clusters down the length of the hallway, all keeping a watchful eye on the door to the dining hall. None seemed willing to make the first move. Abruptly, Kimiko and Yoshiki broke off from the others and approached the hologram guarding the dining hall.
Yoshiki and I would like to use a transaction terminals die.
Very well. This way, please.
As soon as the two of them entered the dining hall, the door slid shut behind them. I guarantee you they got one of the big numbers and one of the small ones. The audible click of the door's locking mechanism conveyed a clear message to the rest of the crew. We were not allowed to enter under any circumstances. The way that I see this... She said 1 to 10, right? So no one can automatically have 0 unless they don't have a card. So I'd have to say she probably has either 1 or 8, or not, sorry, 1 or 9, and Yoshiki has 1 or 9, obviously, because only 2 people are going in. It could be, no, it can't be 8 or 2 because we need either 2 or 3 to move on, which means that well, no, either 2 or 3 and 4 and 6. No, I'm sorry, I can't do math. We need 2 or 3 to go on. I was right the first time. Or 4 and 1, and I doubt that it's 1 that she has. So, the longer you wait in this game, the more likely the other players will partner up. So. I'm putting my faith in you. And I promise you, if you betray me, we are going to fight. Wait, hold on. Never mind. I partnered with Katashi and Shizuka. Their altruistic desire to put the mission first was a deeply respectable one. They're trying to make the best out of an impossible situation, appealing to reason in an attempt to prevent the crew from descending into anarchy. I admired them for that. Katashi and Shizuka stood quite close to the door. They greeted me with smiling faces. So we know that Katashi is the chef, but we still don't know what her deal is. And that's what's really gonna throw me for a loop, because I don't know what's going on. Because we know that Katashi's the chef, Yoshiki is the engineer, Kimiko is the captain. We know that Nicholas and Beatrix are the doctors. We got what was Sora's? Oh, the navigator. Sora's the navigator. I don't remember what Vladimir's was though, because all they said was that he was just a Russian crew member. We got Melody, who is the daughter, so she doesn't. Yeah, we don't really. Yeah, does the offer to still stand by any chance?
It sure does.
We're glad you've decided to trust us. You won't regret it, I promise.
I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you. Do not betray this trust, because there will be consequences in other routes. I promise you, there will be consequences. I will swallow my entire fear and anxiety to make sure that you pay if this is the wrong decision.
It looks like the dining hall is going to be crowded for a while now. We do have a bit of time left, and if we stay together, you know...
Keeps us from having to think about how one of us is going to die.
That's not how I would have said it, but yeah, that's the gist of it.
Woohoo! I bet we killed time by playing video games.
God, I love her.
Shizuka, you can play after we're done. Right now, we should all just try to get some peace and quiet. Let's head to the Eco Lounge.
My mate, as Katashi, Shizuka, and I made our way to the crowd. My eyes fell upon a still figure standing nearby. Sora stood motionless, her left hand pressed against her heart as if she were wounded. Her face was a perfect picture of disbelief. I averted my gaze, furious with myself for ever having lied to Sora and Vladimir. They didn't survive this round. I wasn't sure if I'd ever. Yes. Thank you. I'm scared. The Eco Lounge is the first place to get away from it all. The proverbial eye of the storm. Besides the tense situation they found themselves in, this place still managed to feel pure somehow. Tranquil sanctuary, only a brisk walk away from the deletion game. We whiled away 40 minutes in a casual conversation as we lay on our backs in the soft grass, watching the stars drift overhead. By the time we returned, the hallway was empty. It seemed as though everyone had either finished their business or decided to regroup elsewhere.
Yahoo! Are you all here to use the transaction terminals?
Yes. Shizuka, myself, and the newbie.
Okie dokie, Artichoke. You have 10 minutes to complete the transaction, at which time you will be forcibly removed from the dining room.
As soon as we entered the room, the door closed behind us with a loud metallic clang. We'd agreed earlier that Shizuka would be in charge of the primary terminal. Spending some time with them in the Eco Lounge had removed any lingering doubts from my mind. I knew they wouldn't betray me. I knew it in my heart. Oh my god, they're dead ass gonna betray me. Oh, I can feel it. I made my way to the terminal opposite Kitashi. I stood because the terminal front and side walls prevented me from seeing anything. All of my attention was focused on the screen. Whatever happened here would determine my future. The sensation of placing my hand on something that wasn't physically there felt very surreal. I'd been expecting to feel a slight electric vibration, but there was nothing. My terminal beeped as my handprint was verified as my own. Terminal changed to display my name and card number, a lonely 5. On my screen, I could see the word combined light up as it was selected. In a moment, the readout changed to 5 plus Shizuka plus Kitashi, and it was done. We are officially allies.
Congratulations! Your transaction has been completed. Judgment will occur in 8 minutes. Thank you for participating in the deletion game.
So scared. So scared. Like, you don't understand, okay? Normally, I'm good with games like this, you know? Because, like, at least with Zero Escape, you knew everything was gonna be, you know, like, kind of straightforward. You're just gonna pick based on who you like and who you don't like, yada, yada, yada. And that's kind of the same here. But, like, there is less freedom to work with here. Like, at the very least, they give you options, and that's pretty much it. And for some reason, I just can't bring myself to, like, I'm scared. I'm just scared. I'm scared. I'm worried. Shizuka.
I am glad that's over with. I don't think I've ever said that about a game before.
This isn't just a bunch of Pixars on a screen, Shizuka.
Plus, I've been having a rough couple of days, so if they betray me, it's pretty much over for me.
You mean pixels?
Whatever. The point is, it's not a game.
You mean...
This isn't just a bunch of Pixars on a screen, Shizuka. Whatever.
It's about time for the results.
Extra, extra! Be sharp, sing on rooftop.
Ooh.
Attention. This round of the deletion game has come to an end. All participants are to meet in the dining room at once.
This song kind of goes hard, I ain't gonna lie. Reminds me of the Six Flags theme song. Dia's voice thundered throughout the ship. I froze. The moment we'd all been dreading it finally arrived.
Better hurry. I'm not going to wait to announce the results, you know.
I just want to point out that there's a high chance that I'm getting betrayed here. And not for the reason you think. Because in the Zero Escape games, I almost never got betrayed first. And I feel like this trend is about to end here. Closed my eyes, inhaled and exhaled deeply. I was as ready as I ever was going to be.
It's judgment time, everyone. If you'll all take a look up here, I've created a handy holographic scoreboard for your viewing convenience. You can thank me later. In a minute, this board will display everyone's final results. Keep in mind, the numbers of each individual player in a group will not be displayed, only their combined scores.
Oh, okay. No, I see it. I see what you mean. I see what you're getting at now. That's the kicker, because they didn't explain this before. They said that they would, you know, show like everyone what the scores was. That must mean that if you can find out one person's number and put it in with like the people that they grouped with last time, and all 3 of those people survived to make 10, that must mean that the other 2 people's numbers have to be certain numbers. That's
After all, what's done is done.
It's trying so hard against the inside of my chest that it's starting to burst into pieces at any moment. Honestly, same. Shallow, rapid breaths were all I could muster as I clenched my eyes shut, horrified to see my fate sealed in glowing letters and numbers.
I'm just so excited for you all to
All right, guys, here we go.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Yes! We survived! We survived! Oh, wait, what happened here? How'd you get 12 with all... Oh, no. That must mean... One of them had 8 and the other had 4. Which means that since we were right about, you know, this. Ooh. Oh no. So 8, the number 8, I'm guessing he had 8. That's all I'm gonna say right now. She started with the 10 card. Okay, that makes sense. I was probably right with them that they were 9 and 1. Obviously, Shizuka's 2 and Katashi's 3. And I'm 5, obviously, so we got a scoreboard at least. Can I hide the HUD? Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So we can see everyone. My guess is that they have 7 and 6. Because think about it this way, okay? Think about it this way. 2, 3, 5, right? Everyone's good. She obviously has 10 because she's the only one there. 9, 1. Or 1, 9. Whichever comes first. I honestly think that she has 1. That means... I mean, honestly, it doesn't really matter which number either of these 2 have, but 8 and 4. But we don't know if the numbers are gonna switch around, so I was safe. I wasn't going to die. A tremendous wave of relief washed over me. I knew people who baked cakes or played video games couldn't be that bad. That's what I'm saying. People who enjoy sweets and video games cannot possibly be evil to me. I've yet to meet a single player in a game where that was the case. But I'm so glad that I trusted them. I really am. Shizuka and I all had glowing 10s above our names. It wasn't until my eyes searched further along the scoreboard that I saw it. Sora had a 0.
What is the meaning of this, Dai? You got our scores wrong. Why else would my wife have 0? Tell me this instant.
Vladimir stormed up to the hologram, demanding an explanation. His once kind face was distorted with rage. A deep crimson color crawling up his neck as he hurled a string of expletives at Dai. Look at her, she's like, damn, bro, chill.
Shh. Hush now, love. Let me explain.
Mommy, what's going on?
She gave up her number.
Daddy yelling?
Everything's fine, sweetheart.
Oh, God. This can't be happening. Not again. I won't let you take the person I love away from me. You'll have to take me apart piece by piece before I let you touch a hair on this woman's head.
Nah, see, don't invite her. Don't invite her to do it, because you also don't have 10. So technically, you're still not safe either.
How dare you accuse me of cheating? You must play by the rules, human, and so must I.
Not human. It sounds like a slur.
It's not wrong, Vladimir. Please, honey, don't do this in front of Melody.
Who did this? Did one of you trick her into doing this? I can't strangle the hologram, but I can still bloody well strangle one of you lot.
So here's the thing, though. How do you have 12, though? No, but like, he's clearly lying, though. You guys see this, right? He's clearly lying. Because how else would he have gotten 12? Because obviously, Beatrix and Nicholas, they paired up together. That's how they got to 13, was it? So they have 7 and 6, obviously. Which I don't know why they even lied to me to begin with, but yeah, hey, I made the right decision. That's beside the point. How else would he have gotten 12? Because no other numbers add up to that. But then again, and this is why I was so confused on the rules here, I don't know if she can give up her number without the other person's input. But it looks like she did that, and that's why he's confused. I guess it's not clarified yet. Vladimir whipped around the room like a hurricane, threatening pain to everyone in the room.
Vladimir, stop, please.
Please don't tell me this is true. This can't be true. I can't lose you.
All eyes were fixed on Vladimir, his fury gradually subsiding under the soothing influence of Sora's calming voice and tender caresses.
I'm so sorry.
Why?
His voice quivered, his cracking slightly. It was a hurt voice, the voice of a broken man.
Why would you do this to me? To Melody?
I did this for you. For Melody. And for what's left of the human race.
Wait, but that's crazy though, because if you think about it, even if I would have told them my number, and then like, they compared it with their own, even though we'd be above 10, it wouldn't be 10. So technically, we'd still be in a little bit of danger.
When we signed up for this mission, all those many years ago, we agreed that we would do whatever it took for this mission to succeed. After what happened to Charles, to your wife Amanda, to our friends.
Also,
I never thought I'd be able to recover.
So it's possible that Sora wasn't even part of their family for real. I mean, yeah, they were basically a family, you know, for Melody, but I'm willing to believe that Melody is Vladimir's daughter, biologically speaking, and Sora married into that because of, you know, them being on the same crew.
Then one day, you made me the worst lamington I'd ever eaten. And then, all at once, I saw you clearly. After what happened to Charles. Then one day, between the late night poker sessions and you letting me steal your chocolate rations, I realized that I loved
don't do that. Don't do that.
And that I loved you for some time.
This shit's about to get fucking wicked.
But that doesn't change the mission.
I don't care about the mission.
Yes, you do. That's just the disbelief talking. You know that we still have a duty to this ship. That this is bigger than you or I. That's why I did it. I'm the most replaceable crew member. I've passed on everything I know to Shizuka. But you still have a job to do.
Oh, so Shizuka's part of the navigation.
Our little Melody. She's going to be a scientist.
And he's a
just like her
scientist?
father.
That's actually pretty cool.
And she'll pass down that knowledge to her children. And they'll do the same to theirs.
God, absolutely, yes, it's gonna hit us in our feels.
You're still necessary to this mission, my love.
I can't do this without you. Please, don't do this.
You can. You will. For Melody's sake.
It's so sad, too, because I actually liked Sora. Sora was pretty cool. Pretty chill. Very, very nice lady. I wrapped his arms around his side and hugged her close to him. A tender embrace, Vladimir conveyed the depth of his love for his wife in a way that transcended all words. He clung to her so closely, so desperately that it was painful to watch. It's impossible to shake the sensation that we were intruding on an intensely personal moment.
Mommy, what's going on?
Sora scooped Melody up in her arms, bringing her to rest up against her hip.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. I have to go away. But Daddy will be here to take care of you and keep you safe. Okay?
No, I I want you to stay here. Watch.
I don't want you to go.
I know it's going to be difficult, sweetie. But I'm sure that one day you'll understand.
And you'll grow to hate the main protagonist for ever daring to get picked up by the ship.
Aw, aren't you guys just the cutest? But that's enough of that. Time is money, people. It's time to spin the wheel of fatality. Woo!
You're so dangerous. I love you. Dolores Dai conjured a sizable holographic wheel, split up into labeled sections. I barely managed to read them all before a die passed judgment. Gravity, airlock, oxygen, incineration, and spacewalk. Each one sounded more ominous than the last. Within seconds, Dai gave the wheel a hefty spin and the sections of the wheel blurred into one another. Eyes were fixed on the wheel as it gradually slowed, tick, tick, ticking its way to a standstill, as the arrows circled the dial, finally coming to rest on...
Incineration.
Ooh.
No time like the present. Let's head on down to the furnace room, shall we?
Can't I just have a few more minutes with my family?
No. Move it, sister. Everyone, follow me. As you'll remember from last time, attendance at executions is mandatory for all players participating in the deletion game. Come along.
You're making
now.
her daughter watch? Are you serious?
I will not allow Melody to watch. I absolutely refuse.
I must agree, Dai. Subjecting a child to the demise of a family member is unbelievably cruel.
I spat out her answer through gritted teeth and a plastered out smile.
Melody is a participant, just like you. I won't bend the rules merely because she's shorter than the rest of you.
That's diabolical. That's actually diabolical. As a matter of fact, I gotta record that. That is just horrible. You are horrible for that.
She's a child.
She's a member of this crew. Now, feel free to continue arguing with me, but for every second you push the issue, I'll be decreasing the amount of oxygen flowing into this room.
This is low, Dai. Even for you. Fine, we'll do it your way. It seems we have no choice in the matter.
And here I thought a little CO2 poisoning might improve your personality. Maybe next time, eh, Captain?
She's horrible. The march to the furnace room was grueling. I'd never seen a person die before. Like any reasonable person, it wasn't something I ever thought I'd have to see. My stomach revolted at the prospect, and my mind felt completely numb. I couldn't even imagine what Sora was going through right now. Sora set a slow pace to the furnace room, dragging out the precious time she had left to spend with her family. The sound of Melody's uncontrollable sobbing was the only sound that echoed throughout the bowels of the ship as we delved deeper than I'd ever ventured before. And just to reiterate, it is our fault, but not because we didn't partner with them. That would have, happened regardless. But it is our fault because on some level, I feel that if we had not been picked up by the ship, there wouldn't have been that many people, yada, yada, yada. As he filed into the furnace room, the ambient temperature rose with every passing step, and I slowly became aware of the gentle crackling of flames. The cavernous room was dominated by the raging fire of the furnace itself, held at bay by a thick pane of reinforced glass. As the last of our group crossed the threshold, the door shut behind us with a resounding thud. Even on the side of the glass, the heat radiating out from the furnace was overwhelming. Hold on. I at least want to save first. And also to check the timeline. Okay, so we're here now. Although there was a maintenance access panel located in the chute emerging from the top of the furnace, this occasion clearly warranted the use of the hinged door cut into the glass.
Here we are. Sora, for losing round 2 of the deletion game, you've been sentenced to death by incineration. I must insist that you enter the furnace immediately. No one goes out until she goes in and gets a little singed.
Company, fall in.
Everyone except Melody and Vladimir immediately formed a regimented line and raised their hands in the salute position. I tried to mimic their actions as best as I could.
Navigation Officer Sora Carmine, you have served honorably aboard the Everett, and your many contributions to this mission have been indispensable. Your love and compassion for your fellow crew members have made this ship a better place to live. You will be greatly missed. Company, salute.
The entire line saluted in unison. Sora's smile was incredibly bittersweet. She stood up straight and meaningfully locked eyes with each of us before returning a salute of her own.
It's been a privilege being able to serve alongside such fine men and women. Godspeed, friends.
Sora,
You don't have to say a word. I already know.
Sora and Vladimir shared a deep lingering kiss.
Goodbye, my love.
In you go, Sora. Clock's a ticking.
Sora crouched down face to face with Melody, who was clutching her father's lab coat tight in her fist. Melody's face was lined with tears, which continued to flow freely.
Now, Melody, I need you to do something for me, sweetheart. When I step in there, I need you to close your eyes and not open them, no matter what. Do you understand? Don't open your eyes, sweetie.
Okay.
Listen to your father. Be a good girl. Love without measure. I love you, Melody. You're the light of my life. And I hope that one day you'll understand and be able to forgive me. Always remember that I love you. Always.
Sora hugged her daughter one final time, kissed her on the head, forced a smile, and stood up.
I'm ready, Dai.
About time.
Yo, can you at least pretend to care? Even just the slightest bit is fine. I could feel the searing heat on my skin as Sora opened the door to the furnace and stepped inside, shutting the door behind her.
Mommy, don't!
Melody rushed towards the glass, banging her hands against it in desperation, as if it had only just struck her what was about to happen. But Blaze looked at Sora's ankles as she bent down and smiled comfortably.
It's okay, sweetie. Everything will be fine. Close your eyes, honey.
Come back!
Melody stood dejected. Tears cascaded down her cheeks and onto the floor. She stood watching her mother numbly. The tongues of flame had begun to blacken the navigation school officer's uniform, causing violent blistering welts to break out on her exposed skin.
Close your eyes. Melody, close your eyes. Vladimir, make her close her eyes. Please.
Vladimir bent down and forced Melody to turn away from her burning mother's visage. Smoke poured out of Sora's scorching body. Animalistic howls racked her body as she shrieked, unable to bear the pain any longer.
Melody, honey, look at Daddy. It's okay.
Last thing I saw was Vladimir pulling Melody into a hug, holding her head so that she couldn't turn to look at her mother, whose charred skin was starting to slough off from the muscle underneath. I clamped my eyes shut, sickened at the sight of her gruesome death. Even with my eyes shut, my imagination ran riot as a visceral thump reverberated throughout the room. The putrid smell of burning human hair and flesh pushed me over the edge, causing me to gag. Cold air whooshed in behind me as the doors finally opened. I opened my eyes and scrambled towards the exit as fast as my legs could carry me. We all spread out in the corridor, eager to get some breathing room after the horrific execution we just witnessed. Beatrix and Nicholas held each other for emotional support. Shizuka knelt nearby, her body racked by irregular spasms, holding down the contents of her stomach with sheer force of will. Poor Vladimir, even though his face remained drawn and his eyes were bright red from crying, he was still doing his best to hold it together for Melody. No matter how hard Vladimir tried to comfort Melody, however, she remained inconsolable, screaming and thrashing in his arms in futile protest against her mother's cruel fate. One by one, we left the two of them alone, unable to endure the sight of their anguish any longer. As we left the area, a voice taunted us through the intercom.
The next round of the deletion game begins in 24 hours. Sweet dreams, everyone!
Ugh! No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh. no, we are ending it here. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That was hard to watch. That was hard to watch. That was hard to experience. See, I don't know about that though, because they didn't actually show what happened to her. It was just really descriptive. And it would be weird if I did that when I didn't do that for Zero Escape. Damn sure didn't do that for Danganronpa. Now that was gruesome, because they actually showed the death on screen. But, whew. Yeah, no, that was painful. And the worst part is, we really could only blame the main character. Like, really and truly, it's the main character's fault. I mean, yeah, but I'll consider it. At the very least, I'll consider it. But truth be told, I don't think that anyone's gonna care regardless. I mean, the name of the game is called Quantum Suicide. I would hope to God that they would expect mature content. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for stopping by today. We'll see what we can do for our stream tomorrow. Hopefully we get something that we could, you know, just kind of power through. Maybe something uplifting to shred a little bit of sunshine on this otherwise despairful cloud of deception. Me personally, I don't know how anyone is gonna be able to go through with this. But hey, that's a problem for future me. Future me is gonna have to deal with that any way that we can see fit. So I'd like to thank you all for stopping by. Hope to see you all again on the next one. I've been your host for this evening, Azrael Kuranushi, the greatest ringmaster ever graced the square screen, your king of clowns, your jester of justice, Mr. as real as it gets. And until I meet again, everybody, take care and goodbye for now.